And hello, good evening, everyone. Tonight we're going to talk about how do busy working professionals like yourself become data scientists. If you're complete beginners and you're actually not starting from zero, so I'm going to share some of the tips with you. And because we're opening our enrollment, and the next cohort starts in about 2 weeks' time, and I'll help you to decide if you need a program, and also how can a program like Data Science 360 help you in your data science career, or in general. Okay, how should you learn data science? And in particular, we're going to cover the three main areas, which is number one, what are the skills that you need? Number two, how long would it take actually? Like, how long would it realistically? How long will it take from where you are right now to data scientist positions? Or what are your career options? Say, if you don't want to become a data scientist, you think that it does not suit you, right? Is there other options? Okay. So first of all, let's talk about the skill requirements. So the easiest way to find out about skill requirements as a busy working professional is not to read a book, or is not to go through all the blogs and YouTube videos. The easiest way, quickest way is just to go to any of the job search site and then just type in the position that you want. So you type data analyst, you type data scientist. So I tried this in Google, I tried it in Monster, Indeed, JobStreet, and this is the results that I get. Okay, so let's say if you want to work as a data specialist in Shopee, or they have a cool name, data specialist. So the key requirements here is strong in SQL, structured query language. And if you know Python or R, there will be a bonus. And then comfortable in handling big data sets. In fact, it talks about handling medium big data set here as well. Yeah, when you are using SQL. And you can imagine, right, a website, e-commerce company like Shopee, how much data they're handling, and the amount of transactions they're handling on a daily basis, per minute, per second basis. Especially, they have sales almost every month, right? Double 11, double 10, double 12, double 1, New Year, Raya, and so on. So this one is from Accenture. Okay, so they're looking to hire data engineer. So, and it's not by accident, right? Coincidentally, they need essential knowledge of SQL and Power BI. So if you have not heard of Power BI, it's actually a business intelligence tools, and that's what BI stands for. All right. So a business intelligence tools that you can use to create dashboard, charts, and also reports. And of course, you have knowledge of different types of analytical services, model, and then optimizing query performance, and also excellent problem solving and analysis skills. You can expect this sort of job description in like a consulting firm, consulting agencies, management consultants. Pretty much the requirements are similar. Data analyst for DG, right? This is from dg.com, and the telco. And have knowledge on tools and languages such as SAS, SPSS, SQL, Python, R, and you see the same thing. And they say experience with large data sets and knowledge of both structured and unstructured data. These are JD. JD means they're written by HR or recruiters. So this is Galen. Galen is one of our graduates. So he completed Data Science 360 and currently work at Grab as a data analyst. One thing unique about data analysts, right? If you're not in the industry, this is something that a lot of people they didn't tell you. Data analyst is a position that is specialized, that has a niche. So you won't just work as a generic data analyst. So if you look at the positions previously, right, you can see that they somehow require certain specific skill sets, and you're handling specific types of data when you're working. Galen work is she's specialized in fraud analytics, fraud risk analytics. And you see some of the highlights of the jobs: perform data statistical analysis to keep fraud systems and the processes at the cutting edge of fraud detection. They already handle a lot of payment on a daily basis last time, right? But now with Grab Food and all the Grab delivery, Grab Express, they are handling a lot, even more fraud cases. And since they are listed company, so they have recently listed at NASDAQ, so they have a lot of governance, a lot of compliance things that they need to do, and build and maintain dashboards for all stakeholders to provide visibility of key metrics, fraud patterns, and detection efficiency. Okay, so in a nutshell, right, what a data science professional, whether you're a data scientist, data analyst, data engineers, your skill requirements are pretty much these few. Number one, retrieve data from databases. So you need to have You need to be able to talk to a database, pull some data out from the database. And number two, handle large data sets. So you are not just handling small data sets. If you're handling a small data set, you can just use Excel, right? Excel, I'm not saying Excel is good or bad, but Excel is good when you have smaller data sets, like within 100,000 rows, 200,000 rows. It sounds a lot to you right now, maybe, but in the data science world, if you imagine the amount of data that's coming in, right? It's very, very small and it's static. And the third thing is analyze data. So of course, you need to be able to explore data, analyze data, and find out what the data is telling us, right? Basically. And then you need to be able to build predictive models because you need to do forecasting. You need to be able to make sure that you know what is the outcome when you do something like let's say in digital marketing, right? Like what Ruben is doing. So when you spend X dollars, you need to know how many people are watching the ads and whether the results that comes back, does it tally with your prediction or not? And you can make a lot of tweaks along the way. And last but not least, create dashboards. These are the hard skills, is the core skills that every data professional and even data engineers, they need to have. If you translate these skills into tools, basically just three key things that you need to learn: SQL or SQL, Python, and a BI tool. So in Data Science 360, we teach Power BI and we teach Tableau and Google Data Studios. You can learn all three of them. Each of them has their own pros and cons. Like Tableau is good, but very expensive. Google Data Studio is good, but it does not have a desktop version. It only has a cloud version. And then Power BI sort of is somewhere in between. So it's reasonably affordable. At the same time, the function is quite rich. Okay, so these are the three things that you need to learn and we will cover in Data Science 360. And why do you need to learn these things, right? Like we always say, if you try to learn something, you just pick up a skill, but you want to use these skills as a data scientist or somebody who works in data science industry. Our job is to use data to answer business questions. And these are the typical business questions that you need to answer. For example, like, which customers are going to unsubscribe our service? So if you're a telco or you're Netflix or Astro, right? You will be asking these sort of questions on every day. It's like, who is going to unsubscribe? Okay, why are they leaving? Where are they leaving? Is DG customers jumping over to Maxis or Maxis customers jumping over to Cellcom and stuff like that? And then if you're in F&B, these are the typical questions that you will ask. Like, how many burger patties we need to order next week? Is it because of holidays? Is it because somebody is coming here for a party and stuff? And what else? Expected sales for next quarter. So if you're in management consulting, you're in a fintech company, financial planning companies, and these are the sort of questions that you need to ask. So this is pretty much about the first part, the skill requirements. And then the second thing is the time frame. So the second question that busy professional like yourself will be asking is like, what is a realistic time frame? First thing first, there are a lot of programs out there that promise that become a data scientist in 3 days or 5 days and get certified in 3 days, 5 days, that sort of things, right? And there are a lot of data science certifications like let's say Coursera. There are a lot of MOOCs out there, and I wouldn't say they're right or wrong. That's the way that they advertise. And Data Science 360 will have a 4 full day course, but that is just part of it. The entire program would take 6 weeks to complete. A realistic time frame, as we have observed from most of our students, is 12 weeks. If you spend a solid 12 weeks to do that, 6 weeks to learn data science, 3 weeks to build a portfolio, and another 3 weeks to apply for jobs. Now I put a star here, I put an asterisk here, because it really depends on the process of the company. Like if you apply for local SMEs, you probably don't need 3 weeks. You get your results in 2 weeks if you are qualified. But if you are applying for, let's say, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, those sort of FANG companies, then the process will take longer. Like Microsoft is famous for their long interview process and just their culture. So, but if you're working in Malaysia, most of the time, 3 weeks is a reasonable time frame. We have students who work in like banks, who works in like GLCs, like Plus, Touch and Go, that sort of companies. It's about that. It's about 3 weeks. Beginner. So this is where you are at, right? You don't have much exposure to data science. You probably deal with data on your work, at your work, and then you do it on a daily basis. So 6 weeks is good enough for you to learn, and then 3 weeks for you to build a portfolio. Now, portfolio is very important, and it can be a game changer when you're applying for jobs. Because when you send a resume, right, you just have to visualize this. You picture this. When you submit a resume, your other candidates also, I don't call them competitors, but other candidates also submit their resume. So how do you make your resume stand out? It's rather hard, right? So what you should do is to build a portfolio to enhance or as extension of your resume. So you can see a lot of good things that impress other people in your resume. And by the way, right, based on the research, a HR only needs 2 seconds to reject your resume. Yeah, whether they like it or not, they want to accept or they want to reject. They just need to spend 2 seconds. They scan, they laser scan your resume, and that's about it. So a portfolio is a very, very important thing that you need to learn how to use it and how to build it to show the best side of you, okay, to stand out among other candidates. It's a good 12 weeks, I would say, reasonably. Yeah. So from where you start, let me give you an example of what is a portfolio. There are many different types of data scientists out there. Some of them, they are more visual. Okay, some of them, they are more verbal. There are two V's here, right? Some are more visual person, some are more verbal person. And I belongs to the more they call it VAK, like visual, auditory, and kinesiology. So it's more hands-on, and people who are like myself who speak less, who type less, but we use codes a lot. So this is a portfolio of our students. I think Dewey, right? And he's more into writing. So when he built his portfolio, he showed people what is the problem, and then he explained the background. He presented as a business case, and then used it as his portfolio. Or there are some people who are slightly more visual, slightly more technical. So they can, this is Google Data Studio. So this is what you learn in Data Science 360 as well. You use the data to build a dashboard, and this is an interactive dashboard where you can use the put down menu, drop down list here to change and customize your dashboards and your graphs. Okay, so this one, I think he's using it for COVID-19 patient mortality, risk, and severity. So last year we have a lot of students because this is the first time they have access to this type of data, so it got them very excited. This is another student, Jasmine. So she's currently working as an analyst, data analyst in Foodpanda. So she's a very, very visual person. So she was an architect. So you can see that her portfolio, she talks about architecture, design, data science, social cost. Her background is in architecture, and then she's very into data science and using data to do things for social goods. Okay, so these are the different types of portfolios. I mean, the learning part, you get the idea, and I'll talk about some of the topics later. And then we talk about the resume, the portfolio, and these are some of the examples that you can refer to. All right. And then the next one is career options. Now, when you are looking for a career switch, right, you're looking to transition into a job in data science. Data scientist, of course, is your first choice. Yeah. Data scientist is an exciting position. You get to deal with a lot of different business problems, and you get to meet a lot of people, and it's a very exciting role in Malaysia right now. We are more focusing in the Malaysian markets because it's easier for you to relate, but plus you can't really travel to Singapore or Thailand right now. But if you look beyond here, right, if let's say you look at US or you look at Europe, and you want to get some remote jobs from there, you can do that too. Yeah, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. And if you think that you don't like to build models for some reasons, and you just want to focus more on analyzing data, some people so data scientist job is more towards like forecasting the future, and you need to be able to handle things from end to end. But sometimes you are not that into prediction and forecasting, but you are more into lighter, like data analysis. You want to analyze data. You have a curiosity. You have a baby curiosity. You want to know, wait, what this data is telling me. What can I get from this data? And maybe data analyst is a position that suits you. And go back to the topics tonight, right? If you're a busy working professional, you already have domain knowledge. Yeah. Let's say you are from fashion industry. Let's say you're from transport industry. You can get into these positions like data analyst or even data engineer very quickly. You don't have to start from scratch. I'll explain to you later. The thing here is that whatever knowledge that you have, your domain knowledge can be borrowed and applied. So you see data science as a tool that can help you to analyze data and get more information and get more insights from your data. Let me walk you through a few examples, right? This is our students, Dara and Tenghui. So Dara joined Data Science 360 at a very, very early stage of that. And she's currently working as a software development engineer at Amazon. So you must be thinking, hey, how come she's working as a software engineer? So she has programming background. Before this, she was working in JobStreet, in Seek.com, JobStreet's parents company, as a data scientist. So she has knowledge in data science. She has knowledge in web development, software engineering. So she get a job at Amazon to combine both together, because you want to build good products at Amazon, and the company that Amazon this big, right? Yeah, you definitely need some sort of skills to turn your ideas into products, and you need some sort of data skills to do that. Okay, and I put somebody who is relatively similar, which is Ting Hui. So he's currently the head of AI in Plus Malaysia. So what he does there is to set the strategy, okay, of digital transformation and artificial intelligence adoption in Plus. And the most his most recent work is the RFID and also smart tech. So I know it received a lot of critics from the public, and some people love it, some people complain about it, but that's his job. Okay, driving digital transformation and using his strength is to use video analytics, because there are a lot of video feeds captured on the highway every day. So how can they use those data to make better plannings and better decisions? And one of the trickiest things that he has to solve is the public holidays traffic, like the upcoming Chinese New Year and also Raya traffic. And these are the other two students who are working in tech company with data analyst position or data analyst role. So Jasmine, I think I showed you earlier. She's a data analyst in Foodpanda, and Aiman is a data analytics for fleet and payment at Lazada. So you can see that a lot of our students get into these sort of e-commerce platforms, and they are working heavily in payment and fleet. So you can see how much these companies put attention on these sort of areas. Yeah. So these are the positions that you can consider, or you can consider to co-found or found your own startup. So Julian and Anthony, these were our students too. So they learned data science, but they took a different route. So they found their own business. And Julian is currently co-founder and head of product at SupplyCard. So it's a B2B companies that help companies to procure their stuff at a much cheaper rate, okay, at a much reasonable rate. So for example, you want to buy a carton of water, or you want to buy a box of pens, right? You need to know what is the market price. Okay, so they collect, this is real big data they have collected. So some companies, they bought it at 120 per pen, and then some companies are able to negotiate 90 cents per pen. It's the same thing, right? Same pen. So they're able to tell it from the data and source the right product from the right source with the cheapest or the lowest price. And Anthony does the same thing. So Food Market Hub is a B2B procurement companies, but instead of doing it for stationaries or groceries like SupplyCard is doing, he's doing it for F&B only. Yeah, he's very focused into F&B. So like you want to order chickens, you want to order fish, and what is the best rate at the day, and they can use it, use data analytics to estimate your supply so that you don't have wastage. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And because I was one of my client last time was QSR, so I dealt with companies like KFC, Pizza Hut, and yeah, so I know it has a huge potential that you'll be surprised when you know, okay, these companies, they are big, but they didn't really use data science to do any sort of planning. So, or a lot of planning is actually based on very crude method, I would say, right? Very fundamentals method. Just draw a graph and try to plot, extrapolate from there. Yeah, and this is another inspiring story. You can become an author too if you want to. Yeah, so Mio is our graduate I think 2019, yeah, 2 years ago. So he founded his own company called K Dimensions, and he has a very clear and strong mission. Is he wants to use uh, visuals to simplify the learning of data science, machine learning, deep learning subjects. So you can go ahead and follow him on LinkedIn. You can see that he used a lot of pictures like this to explain very um, complex concepts. I wouldn't say complicated. I was looking for the right words, but he makes hard concepts very easily understandable. And also he wrote this book called Nuts About Data. So it's a story of how data science is changing our lives. It's a very, at one stage, I think it was a bestseller in one of the category. Yeah, so all 5 stars review. Very, very fun read, and I like it. So you can see the way that he present his visuals. So you can expect this is a very light, fun, and enjoyable book. Okay. So those are our students from Data Science 360, and probably I just give you some quick updates on what have changed in 2022. And in Data Science 360, right, we focus on four main things. Number one is accountability. What we realize is that a lot of times when people are learning something, so there are three types of person you need in a journey, in a learning journey, if you want to succeed. Okay, number one, you need a teacher. So a teacher is somebody who teach you a skills, who show you how things is done, who explain some concepts, or at the very least, this teacher must be able to give you a framework, a systematic cognitive framework. These are not big words, basically a framework for you to know. Okay, let's say in data science, you need to know what are the key pillars. Okay, and under each key pillars, what are the other building blocks. All right, so this is an example of a teacher. Now you also need somebody who is a mentor. A mentor, the job of a mentor is to guide you, is to show you the way. I can teach you something. Let's say you can learn boxing from somebody, but if you don't have a mentor, right, you don't know what is possible and what is not possible. And if you want to get to somewhere you think that it's not possible, a mentor is able to tell you, okay, how you think, how you work, and how you achieve the impossible things that you want to do. And lastly, you need a coach. Now, a coach is sometimes it's also known as a trainer, but a trainer and coach, they could be the same person, or they could be two person or a team working together to help you to get to where you want with results. So they are there to make sure that you put in actions and you get the results that you want. And this is what accountability is for. Now, number two is outcomes. So when you want to learn something, it is not about what you learn. It's the outcome that is important, right? Let's say you learn how to cook. It's important that you learn how to cook. The process is important because the teachers are there. They show you how to cook, right? But that's the teacher knows how to cook, but it doesn't mean that you know how to cook. So how is it going to show that you can cook, right? It depends on the outcomes. And the third thing is the support. Now, one thing that scares people, especially when it comes to technical subject like this, right, is you have no support. More often, before COVID, is if you learn something online, right, it's already like boring because you're doing it alone and you have no support. Like when I go to Australia to study, right, the first thing that we look for is Malaysian Student Association. So if anything, you have somebody to ask, somebody to get help, seek help from, and this is what support means. Yeah, and if you are learning technical skills, let's say you learn programming and there's no support, when you have questions you can't ask, and that's where you get stuck. And those are the feelings that you don't like. So if you have a group of people that support you, support mechanisms, and you can go further. Yeah. And usually what stops you, right, is very, very small issues only. And lastly, how do you get support from, right? It's a community. So if you can learn together with a group of like-minded people who are in the similar stage as your life, and that will be even more effective. Okay. So some of the questions that you might have right now is, okay, maybe you are still 50-50, like, should I join Data Science 360 or should I join a data science program? And because you have no technical knowledge, right? You start from zero. Okay. The truth is, I was telling you, you don't start from zero, right? You never start from zero because you are already working and you have a couple of years working experience already. One of the valuable things that you have is actually your domain knowledge. Yeah. So data science or data, right, is basically just a tool that helps you to make better decisions. You have business questions. Remember the business question there. So I said, like, let's say you want to know what is the sales for next quarter. That is a business question. And how does that business question affect your decisions making process? You can use guts. Okay, you can guess. And in the good old days, in the ancient times, we use different things to do that. You can roll a dice. Okay, you can get a fortune teller to tell you something. They are all probabilistic approach or methods. Now that you know data, you learn data, right? You use data as the tool that helps you to make better decisions together with your domain knowledge. So you in the industry, you don't have to start from zero. Let's say you are you have seen our students, right, who are in F&B industry, who are in education industry, B2B procurement, supply chain management industry. So they are already okay, even if I don't call them experts, or they won't say they're experts. Even if they're veteran, they're seasoned players in that industry, they need data and they use data to help them to make better decisions. And that's basically the key topics that we covered in Data Science 360. We teach you how to gather data and clean data. We teach you how to build predictive models. We teach you how to visualize data using dashboards. And these are the key things that we teach. And one unique thing here that a lot of people will need in the near future is analyze unstructured data. We have done a lot of things in structured data already, okay? It's all numbers. Whatever things that you can do, whatever statistical models that you can use is already there. So the next part of the game, or the second half of the data analytics and AI game, right, is actually unstructured data. Let me give you an example. Now you are going to a shopping mall. You want to know which where's the hotspot for you to place an advertisement. So how do you do that? There's no numbers that can help you to do that. So you need to put sensors to track the footfall, right? You need to track how many people walk past a particular spot, how long they stay in a particular spot. So that is a type of footfall tracking, unstructured data. Or you can use a camera to keep track of the people that walk into your shops, that walk out of your shops, how many cars drove past a particular point, and those are videos data. And you can use image data as well to monitor or to do some sort of surveillance. And if you are talking about something that's more closer to us, let's say driverless cars, right? Yeah, they need to recognize a lot of images and pictures to know what objects are there. Am I going to run into a person, or is that a dog, and how should I dodge that, and stuff like that. And the one that a lot of us use in consumer sentiments, consumer market research, politics, is analyzing sentiments. So we can analyze social media data like Facebook, Twitter, understand what people are talking about. Okay, so these are analyzing unstructured data. And some of the important tools that we are going to teach here is SQL using BigQuery, and Python 3.8, Google Data Studio, Power BI. This is VI tools, Google Colab, and also Firebase. So these are for notebook and also unstructured data. Okay, so yeah, these are some of the tools. Like if you follow my approach just now, if you go and search for jobs in data science, jobs in data analysis, data analytics, these are the tools that you will be required. You're required to know. Okay, now the second question is that you want to learn data science, but then you have tried before, but you fail. Maybe you try, most people I would say, right? You try Udemy courses, for example, or you try Coursera courses, you try DataCamp. I mean, it works. It's not a waste of money, but it does not get you to where you want. So there are a few factors after we have trained so many students, right? Okay, number one, no clear start and end date, and there's no way to keep track of progress, and there's no assistance and support. So how do we help you to solve this problem in 2022? So we have these support systems called the Pro Group. So a Pro Group is a place where you can log in and ask questions, and there are different topics related to what you have learned. So this is how Pro Group looks like. And this is under the Data Science 360 section. So you have like introduction, you have data visualizations, raw data handling, machine learning, and click into any of the topics, right? Yeah, you can see that we have a lot of discussion here, and also students submitting their work for comments and interaction with the trainers. Okay, yeah, so you can ask questions as well. And also on the no clear start date and end date, and keeping track of your progress, is that I'm particularly referring to video courses. When you purchase a video course, video program, basically now here's the videos that you have purchased, watch it, follow the exercise, and they don't give you any sort of comment or feedback. You just have to follow and do it. Yeah, and that's why a lot of times you won't see the result. Yeah, it's like you buy a gym membership, for example, right? Yeah, you go to do the work, but you don't know whether you do the right things or not. You try to use those machines, and if you're lucky, you don't see results. If you're not lucky, you might get injured. So it's the same theory. Yeah. And in 2022, some of the new things that we're doing in Pro Group is we're going to have different sprints. So we're going to do something, a sprint means something that's very short, like 2 to 3 days, and we spend half an hour to an hour every day to do something like resume workshop to help you to improve your resume, interview guides. So we do some sort of mock interviews to rehearsal, what sort of question you will be expecting during an interview, how do you answer them, and statistics for data science. So statistics for data science is a fun subject. Okay, one of the key thing in Data Science 360 is I speak human language. Okay, I don't teach you all the technical jargons and you don't understand. Yeah, I'll make sure that you learn something that's applicable in your daily lives. Now, another question, golden question that you might have, or we always get asked is, will you help me to get a job? Okay, so we don't do job placement. Short answer, we don't do job placement, but yes, we will help you to get a job. So I usually help students by the most popular ways that I got is to help them to become their referee, because I don't believe in job placement. Put it this way, job placement is to force you to work in some place aside. You complete this program, okay, I send you to work there, you go lah. Okay, that's how people do job placement, but we don't. Okay, in fact, we help you to get you to work with a recruiter. Okay, we partner with Hirely, and we also partner with Exabytes and different types of tech partners to help you to get your jobs or to get the resources that you need, so that you can get ahead of the others. Yeah, and oftentimes, right, our graduates, if they are looking to switch to a different positions in data, but in the same industry, right, they don't have problems, because they know who are the key players who are hiring data scientists, the analysts. They know their industry. But in case some people who don't know, or they want to reach out to a broader recruiters, that means they want to try headhunting. They want to be headhunted. Yeah, so then you can upload your resume here, and then we have resume workshops, and the professionals, people from Hirely, they will help you to present your resume to more relevant employers, and to help you to get your jobs. And also we have this thing called data science interview recipe, to walk you through like what are the questions, technical questions, mathematics questions, and a culture question they will ask during an interview. And this is catered to more wider, like if you want to work in the US, you want to work in the Europe countries, even Malaysian countries. Yeah, we have collected, I think, 40 questions there. Okay, so that's pretty much it. What is Data Science 360 is about. So as one more thing that I would like to highlight, which is the lifetime warranty. Okay, so what we realize not, I don't know, probably realize it's not a good word. What I know about data science is it's not a 6 day thing, it's not a 6 weeks thing, it's not a 12 weeks thing. So a lot of our students is that, okay, what do we experience, right? Some of the students, when they graduated, they don't switch to a data science job straight away. So they sometimes they spend another 6 months working in their current positions, and they got stuck, and then 6 months later they say, okay, I want to get out of this company and I want to switch. Or like Aiman, right, the young chap that you have seen earlier, he was in fashion industry before, and then the company, because of COVID, the company reorg, I think sized down, downsizing and downsized. So he wants to try another company and another industry. So he went to Lazada. So what lifetime warranty helped them is that at any point of time, okay, you want to come back for refresher. That means if you join today, right, you will be joining the January cohort, and then our next cohort probably is April. You're more than welcome to come back and join us. There's no extra charges, no hidden fees or anything. You just drop us an email and say, hey, Dr. Lau or Ruben, I want to come back for a refresher, because you don't have to tell us because, but most of the time they will say like, oh, they wouldn't want to refresh the whole thing. Some of them they want. You just come back and say like, oh, I want to refresh on SQL or machine learning part because I'm changing to a new job. Yada. Okay, so this is our promise to you. It's a lifetime warranty. So any point of time, do you have any things that you don't understand, or simply because you just want to refresh your skills because a newer version of Python, you're more than welcome to join us. Okay, so thank you very much. So I hope I've given you enough information about data science and how Data Science 360 can help you. Our upcoming class is 22nd, 23rd January. So it's a 4-day class. You can choose you can opt for the physical class option, will be in Petaling Jaya, I think Kota Damansara, right? And it will be live streamed as well. So if you're not comfortable joining any live events or go to public yet, you can stay at home and watch our live feed. Yeah, and the experience will be the same. It's just different place. Either you join it through online or you join it in the physical class. Okay, and then there are more than 13 hours of online trainings. That means there are other trainings on top of the 4-day classes, and there are also online live training every 2 weeks because of the pro group. Yeah, so we have different sprints, and it also covers your exam fee, certification, templates and slides for all the lab practicals, and lifetime warranty. Okay, so if you sign up now, sign up tonight, the price will be 4,799, including SST. So again, no hidden charges or anything, just one-off 4,799, and kickstart your data science journey. And get ready to switch your data science career now. Okay, over to you, Ruben.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Lau, for the presentation. So now is the time to ask questions if you have, questions or doubts or regarding anything, regarding data science, regarding the career, regarding the program. This is an opportunity for us to ask and also discuss questions and also concerns that you might have. And that's why we really run a session like this to get close with all of you. Yes, it's an investment, and Data Science 360 should be. It's an investment. So we like to think of it this way. Yes, it's an investment. It costs some money, but the best investment is an investment in knowledge, and also the best investment is an investment in yourself. So with Data Science 360, right, when you join as a student, you're in as a student for basically life, because you can come back to lessons, you can come back to classes, and you're always covered with anything you have to learn and anything you have to do within the space of data science. So that's what we promise to all our students. And to date, we have over 350 active students in Data Science 360. And if you're just curious, about what they have to say about the program, you want to look around first, you can take a look at it and see if this is for you. Of course, we don't want to be appearing as people who are going to be hard selling you, but then it works for some people. It doesn't work for some other people as well. So you make the decision yourself. Okay. Now, we're happy to take any questions. So if you have questions, feedbacks, concerns, or any comments you'd like to share with us, what you'd like to see us do in the next upcoming weeks and months? Do you like this sort of format for sessions like this, a meetup session like this? Or would you prefer more of a workshop where we actually allow people to also use their microphone and work on some programs? So let us know. I mean, we create programs and also events based on what you are telling us, what our students, what our audiences are telling us. So thank you for those kind of responses that you might share with us. Okay. Okay, so Firdaus, with a question here, yeah. Any fast track program for those who already have tech skills, like Python programming? So I'm assuming that Firdaus, you already have some sort of tech skills, maybe like programming with Python. So Dr. Lau, this is for you.
Okay, sure. So I think for Firdaus, this is not a Python class, by the way. So there's I would consider this a fast track program. Like if you look at it this way, having knowledge in Python will help you to give you a little bit of advantage. But I would say most of the things that you have learned, let's say including the packages like SciPy, scikit-learn, NumPy, Pandas, and those are the and also NLTK machine learning packages and stuff like that, right? Yeah. So those are the packages that we teach. The actual time we spend on teaching Python is very little. Yeah. It's probably like 2 to 3 hours. So I think I would say I would consider this as a fast track program, and another similar one will be the boot camp, but this is a different nature because boot camp is even longer. Yeah, 30 days.
Yeah. So to add on, Dr. Lau, I mean, I've been seeing students inside the program for so long. I mean, so many cohorts. And Python is just really one of the things, or one of the tools used in the whole program itself. So it's just part of the whole program. It's not like 4 days you're going to sit down and do everything in Python. Not really, because data science encompasses a lot of more than just that. It encompasses how to create visualizations, storytelling, building dashboards, and more, and not just Python. So I think if you have Python skill sets, that would be a bonus towards learning faster and more effectively as well. All right, so next one here. Nadia, hope you're well. So the question is, can you share more details on the certificates and exams? So this is a big one because most participants that come to our doors and say, hey, Data Science 360, what is a cert? Is a cert usable for me applying a job? The answer is yes. Is a cert useful? How hard is the exam? Can I pass? Well, I failed the exam. And it's quite usual, and I totally understand the type of questions that you might ask, right? Of course, as you invest into a program like this, you want to make sure that your money is worth. I mean, all of us want that, right? When you buy something, you want it to be worth much more than what you paid for it. So, yes, the certificate is, valid. It's not a degree or diploma. I have to be very honest with you. It's not the same as going to college and getting a certificate, but then it adds weight. And the thing is this, the more and more students we actually build and actually help grow, that goes out to the industry, the more we create this recognition for ourselves and also for our students. But on top of that, what we really do is we really focus on practical skill sets, right? If you look at the profiles and also the track records of our students, it's not so much of like, I've got a paper right now, I go to the job and say, hey, now I'm a data scientist. Not so. If you're a doctor, if you're someone who operates on someone, you probably want to go to a doctor who has a certificate. But a data scientist, you don't actually really need a certificate to actually add value to a company, if you know what I mean. So, yes, the certificate adds value, but I wouldn't say that it's the number one thing that you should look at when considering a data science program. Dr. Lau, anything to add on?
I think what Ruben has said, right? Another point to add on is that you look at our students who have gotten the jobs using this Data Science 360 certificate, and also some of them they use this as a credit. In their university studies for their masters, and some got into a research program as well. So the the syllabus itself is definitely recognized, and it's just that we are not qualified for the tertiary. It's a short upskilling program lah. Yeah, it's not something that is under the rangkaian or the bingkai of Ministry of Education. That's all. Yeah, and then exam itself is 40 MCQ questions, and there's no memorizing questions. Okay, I hate those things. You don't have to memorize a code or memorize a SQL query and so on. There are no such thing. It's basically to test your understanding and how well you can apply your knowledge on real world problems. And one thing that I did not mention is that we don't use toy data sets. We don't use funny data sets like Titanic or flowers. I'm not saying they're bad, but they are not so good to be used in professional course and for you to get a job in data science. Yeah, we use real world data sets.
Okay, so what Dr. Lam meant by real world data sets, right, is if you have ever been into a web development course or online course, right, they'll give you some like play testing sort of like activity, like for example, build a tic-tac-toe program or something like that. So when Dr. Lau says real world data sets, right, it means you actually solve problems from real companies. For example, can you actually analyze the churn rate of Maxis or DG, right? If you are a data scientist at, let's say, DG, and they give you a task of, okay, what is our probability of, churn rate from our customers if we offer this program? I don't know how to do that because I've only worked on fake data sets that have no relevance to the real world, right? So what I'm trying to say is you will learn how to, actually work on this sort of like real world data sets from real companies and real organizations solving real problems, so that when you go into the work industry, you are ready to handle that kind of stuff, right? It's just maybe in a different vertical, a different industry, but you can adjust accordingly to what you've learned and apply to that industry immediately, right? So that's what Dr. Lau really means by real world data sets. It's not just a real world, but it means real companies, real organizations. Okay, next question here. I saw most job descriptions for data scientists would require a degree in computer science, IT, or related field. Is this course powerful enough to compensate for those without computer science related degree? So something that you might not know, or you may already know, is that I would say like 80 to 90% of our students in Data Science 360, including the ones you saw earlier, right? They don't have a computer science degree or diploma. They come from totally unrelated sort of like backgrounds. That's something that you might want to know. But anyway, Dr. Lau, please help this question out.
Yeah. So to extend on what Ruben have said, right? It's very easy to prove the point. If they have CS knowledge, they usually don't have to come to a course like Data Science 360, because Data Science 360 is designed for total beginners who have no knowledge in com science or IT, and they manage to use like let's say those guys that we have shown you. I would say most of them, they have a background in commerce, either finance or either accounting or commerce, and then some of them, they have management consulting background. You can look up their LinkedIn profiles, and you can look under their education section that has lead basically, and yeah, you know more about their backgrounds. Then the only one, I think the one that is the outlier is Dara, because she was actually a software developer before, and she developed interest. But other than that, yeah, I think most of them, they came from an art or commerce background. And especially Jasmine, because I know her through her visual skills. The very first time she did her presentation, they actually wow us. It's like, wow, this is totally different levels. Yeah. And so on that questions, right? The reason why most of the JD, they require a degree in CSIT is HR recruiters, they copy paste from somewhere else, especially MNCs, they have certain criteria to follow. This is how they have the bargain power. They have the say that, yeah. They say, okay, we only want people who have bachelor degrees at a minimum level. So for a specialized specialized positions, right? They will just say you need a bachelor degree at least, and they might as well just say you need a CS or IT degree. And another point is that a data science degree, right, or CSIT degree, if you came from a traditional CSIT degree like myself, okay, they don't teach you any data skills in your course at all. Yeah, you can look at the current. Let's say we just pick a few universities that's popular, right? University of Malaya, APU, MMU. These are the common ones that students ask me for advice, and their CS, their computer science course, right? They don't have that many data analytics or data science component inside as well. Yeah, so the one that's closest is probably some mathematics subjects, statistics subjects. Then that's the best you can get, unless you get into data science specialization. But there's always a but, right? The data science course are very new. They are only like 3-4 years old. Yeah, so if you look at somebody who is 30 years old and above, right? They usually don't come from a CSIT background. Yeah. Oh, but there's the second part of the question, right? Yeah, is data science 360 powerful enough to compensate for those without CS related degree? Short answer, yes, because what we teach you, right, are the core skills that you need to get a data science job. Okay, whether you want to be a data scientist, data analyst, or data engineers, you just need to learn those skills and apply it at work. I'm not saying that uni degree does not work in that way, but a CS IT degree, they prep you for different things. Because if you look at the course prospectus from a university, right, they will say, oh, if you complete this course, you can be a computer scientist, you can be a data scientist, you can be a cybersecurity engineer, you can be a web developer, you can be a CTO in a startup and things like that. And they have to prepare you to have the solid foundations to progress to a master degree and eventually PhD degree as well, because they are in their business, right? Their progression is for you to do bachelor, masters, and then eventually do a research degree, a PhD degree. Yeah, so they have their different considerations, I would say. Yeah, different focus.
All right, I hope that answers the question. Now, if you have other questions, put them down right now. It's 10 p.m. I know I don't take too much of your time, and we definitely respect your time and also your effort for being here. So thank you so much for being here with us. Yeah, if there's one more, we can take one more before we go off, but it's late. And yeah, so I just want to let you know that after this today and after this week, we will be arranging to close down the registration to Data Science 360 for this cohort to focus on the content side and the the back end side where students will go into the pro group and get started with it. So if it's time for you to level up and go into data science, consider taking Data Science 360. It's one of the life-changing programs, and we are so proud of the program. It's just that we have been running it for so many times, and after every cohort, we actually improved the program a little bit, and now it has reached this maturity stage where we are so confident that it would actually help students who actually join the program. Okay, and other than that, right, feel free to drop me an email at ruben@thelead.io. That's my email if you have any questions to ask or if any suggestions for us as well. So this year is a year of change. This year is a new year for all of us, and I think at Lead we are looking at ways to be a little bit more interactive with you, our audiences, and also our students. And we are open, really open to taking your suggestions on what you like to see. What kind of studies would you like to learn? What kind of programs you like to see? Would you like to see workshops like this? Would you like to see more live videos on Facebook? Do you use more on YouTube? Do you use more all that kind of stuff? Just let us know, and we'll be happy to explore them when we can at least. All right. Okay, so if there's no more questions, thank you again for joining us. I appreciate your time, I appreciate your effort here. Just a quick call again, if you have not joined our group on Facebook, that is Lead Knowledge Circle, please go and join us there. Yeah, this is a great group for you to network with other people and also to ask questions, play around, share your insights as well, to also add on to the community there. And I think we are growing this community as we go, putting more time into it, and you probably want to be a part of this growing community of tech guys, marketing guys, business people, and also people in the industry. Yeah, why not, right? So anyway, I'm going to be passing this back to Dr. Lau for his final remarks as per usual before we go off for today.
All right, so thank you very much for your time and joining this. So I hope this give you a good, clear idea about what is data science, and it's not impossible to break into a data science career. So don't think that oh, you're too old, you're mid-career, or you have no knowledge, you have no technical background. And once you pick up the right skills and you have received the proper training, and there's no better time to join a data science or switch a data science career right now, because there are more and more data science graduates graduating. And 20 years ago when I started, right, I don't have these sort of problems. I was comfortably working as a data mining or data miner at that time. And after 10 years, we evolved and we turned into another breed of data analysts and data scientists and so on. So the earlier you step, you put your foot into the industry, and then you can just ride the wave along. Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right, so take care, please, and we'll see you in the programs for you who are students who are going to be joining us. And for those of you who would be joining us, welcome, and we can't wait to help you level up, and again, can't wait to see what you're able to do at the end of the program. So thank you again. Have a good evening ahead and take care. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.